We just got back from seeing the new Snow White, and as a huge fan of the original, here are my honest thoughts. First up, the actual Snow White actress herself. So you know how in the original Snow White, she's very dainty, she has that like really high-pitched voice, she's almost kind of like ditzy in a way. Well, in the remake, she is definitely portrayed as more of like a harder exterior. She doesn't have that like daintiness and sweetness, I felt like. Although she did have a really beautiful voice. And as a girl mom, I love a good, strong female character. However, I just have a really hard time when they change the entire personality and vibe of a character, so I couldn't really get past that. Now, the dwarves in the movie, which by the way, it's not Snow White and the Seven Dwarves anymore, it's just Snow White. And I'm assuming for like politically correctness reasons, they're not really calling them the Seven Dwarves anymore, but they were computer generated. The dwarves and the animals were computer generated. And I felt like they really went a little overboard with the CGI. Like there were times where you kind of felt like you were watching an animated movie instead of a live action. I will say that my absolute favorite part of the movie was the dwarves' entrance into the movie. That whole hi-ho song, 10 out of 10, best part. Little spoiler here, but this is your prince. And that entire prince part of the story, that entire storyline is just gone out of the movie. Now, there is still some sort of like a love storyline-ish, but he's like this peasant guy, not a prince. This woman right here, incredible. Incredible actress, my favorite character in the movie, amazing job. Honestly, this movie had way too much singing. Even my kids agreed. And it would be one thing if they were only singing the original songs, which some of the songs were the originals. We were all singing along in the movie theater. It was really cute, but they added in a ton of songs that were not a part of the original. I feel like it just dragged the movie on and on. We were all really bored. And side note, here you can kind of see what I meant by like the CGI-ish effect. Okay, this is gonna sound super petty, but I was so underwhelmed by this Snow White dress. It literally looked like a Walmart Halloween costume. They also added in this like weird storyline of these people called bandits. It was just a weird addition to the storyline and I just wasn't into it. Now this is gonna sound ridiculous, but it really bothered me immensely. You know at the end of the original where the prince, who in this movie isn't even really a prince, kisses Snow White and she returns back to life? Well, the glass coffin, I just feel like that is so iconic. Like I still have that vision in my head all these years after watching the movie as a kid. All I'm gonna say without giving too much away is that there ain't no glass coffin in the new one. Overall, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. I just really have a hard time with remakes that stray so far from the original, especially when it comes to the storyline itself. Like just stick to the basics, people. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel.